I have used a Herm Sprenger on myself, and I have survived. Hi, welcome to Smith & Short Dogs. Today we're doing a video on another Herm Sprenger product, specifically this style of collar. We previously did a video on the fur saver, which is what we use in competition. The other style is what we use for training. These collars are a little bit controversial. People think they're kind of mean. They look kind of scary when you look at them, so people are a little bit concerned about their safety, how they feel on the dog, and what their actual effectiveness is. The purpose of this style of collar is to give you additional control with your dog. That being said, it is a training aid. It is not a band-aid. So if you don't train your dog on how to react and work with it, you're not going to get the results you want. I've seen plenty of dogs pulling down the street on a pinch/choke collar or a martingale, and it's not controlling them at all. So, first question, do these collars hurt your dog? That's a hard one to answer. As some of you may know, dogs have a much higher sensitivity in their skin to contact and pressure than humans do. On the other hand, they also seem to have a higher tolerance for pain. I am not a dog, so I don't know what a dog feels like. However, I have used a Herm Sprenger on myself, and I have survived. It didn't actually hurt that much. It was just very uncomfortable. I suspect with your average dog, it doesn't hurt. It is just uncomfortable, and that is the whole purpose of the tool. So let's get started and take a look at a few different versions. The main differences between the different varieties of Herm Sprenger are the sizes. Smaller ones for smaller dogs, bigger ones for bigger dogs. They come in 4 main sizes: 2.5 millimeter, 3 millimeter, 3.2 millimeter, and 4 millimeter. The size refers to the gauge of the metal. I don't know if you can see these. One is way smaller than the other. Now, this is Nachi's collar. This is Pictus's collar. Nachi is a little low drive, 35-pound dog. Pictus is a 70-something pound working line German Shepherd. Unfortunately, the smaller gauge metal prongs provide a much harsher correction than the larger gauge prongs. So our advice is to go with the largest gauge that works appropriately. That said, you probably don't need the 4 millimeter unless you're dealing with something on the size of a Cane Corso or a Mastiff. Most dogs are going to do really well with the 3 and the 3.2. Unfortunately, a dog that needs a 2.5 is going to need the 2.5. It literally will be too small to go around their neck. Within the 3 millimeter range, there is the more classic version. And the newer version. You can get them both in black and in silver. The big difference is the length of the links. So the actual prongs are the same width, but the links are longer in the classic style. The more modern style, the links are shorter. This allows you to put more links for the same length. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but side by side, we're about 2/3 to 3/4 of a length longer on this little length here at the top as opposed to this. The advantage of this is you can have at least 3 links on either side of this central piece. You want to have the link that goes through the central piece and you never take it off. You want to have this link, which is the one you're going to take off and put on, and then you're going to want to have at least one other length. This one right here, you never want to take it off and put it on either. Mainly because over excessive usage, these things can bend, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to bend them back. So this is our preferred choice. If not, go with this if you want the classic or you have a much larger dog. And if you have a little bitty dog under 40 pounds, 30 pounds, get something like this. How do these work? Well, the idea is to correct the dog. You do this by giving the dog a little pop. That's it. You're not supposed to be dragging the dog, you're not supposed to be hanging the dog, you're not supposed to be like trying to choke the dog out. It's just a little pop. And It provides a moment of discomfort to tell the dog that you don't like what it's doing. If you train with it, a light tap on the collar will let the dog know to stop doing whatever it is he's doing, or she. Typically, this is trying to forage ahead or go find something that they're interested in that you don't want them to be interested in. As with all tools, it requires training and it requires the correct application. If you're not trained and you're not familiar with how to use this collar, it's not going to do you any good. From the earliest opportunity, once the dog is a couple, 3, 4 months old, use the collar on them, do small corrections when they pull. You can combine with this other techniques, such as doing a turn. If the dog is foraging ahead, every time it gets to the end of the leash, you give it a little pop and change direction, and the dog is going to very quickly learn not to pull. Dogs love that is their default position. They have a thing called opposition research, where if you pull them in one direction, their instinct is to pull in the other direction. We utilize this when we're bike touring. It allows us to have the dog pull us. We also use this in schutz, and it allows us to make the dog bark and present more powerfully and more aggressively. That's not what you're looking for in your day-to-day life. What you're looking for is a calm, well-behaved dog. Pulling on the Herm Sprenger is not going to lead to the results you want. Make sure you're just popping it. Make sure you've trained your dog or you're using it for training your dog. We would recommend that when you're using this product, you also have a safety latch. Basically, that's just a small length of leash with a hook on each end that you hook one end to the Herm Sprenger and one length to your dog's regular collar. The reason for doing this is that if the Herm Sprenger was to break, which is very unlikely, or to come undone, which is fairly unlikely, but it does happen, you still have your dog under control on the flat collar. Don't leave this product on your dog when you're leaving your dog unattended. It's a relatively safe product. It's like a martingale collar, in which it should not get to the point where it's actually choking your dog, but they do get hung up on stuff fairly easily. The Herm Sprenger comes in a variety of sizes, like we mentioned, and also a variety of colors. We only use the silver and the black versions of the collar, but they do come in other colors, I believe gold, and they actually make them in rose gold as well. What is the advantage of this brand of collar over other ones? The main advantage is that Herm Sprenger puts a lot of effort into the quality of their product. If you go to your local big box store, you'll find products that look very similar. However, typically the tips of the prongs right here haven't been rounded. The Herm Sprenger ones are rounded. Typically, if you go to a big box store, the end of this will be just flat across, and it's going to be very sharp. You don't want to be using that on your dog. It'll be incredibly uncomfortable for them. Again, the point is not to hurt your dog. The point is to get your dog to understand what you need it to do. How can you tell Herm Sprenger from a rival product? There's a few things. Firstly, it's going to say Herm Sprenger on it, or Sprenger, just the last name. Secondly, it's going to have the word Inox on it, I-N-O-X. This is German, it means stainless. Finally, basically all Herm Sprengers have this little tab on them. Right there. And on the little red mark, it'll either have HS or a stylized S, depending on the production date. We tend to purchase all of our dog equipment from Ray Allen Manufacturing in Colorado Springs. They have showed us support by providing us a discount on these particular review products, so if you'd like to return the favor, go to the links in the section below. These aren't affiliate links. We're not getting anything from it, but Ray Allen is one of the biggest importers of Herm Sprenger products, and their product line is amazing, so show them some love. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We're small enough at the moment that we do answer every single comment, so if you have a question or a comment, or you have issues with this product, or you want more information about it, get in the comments, let us know, and we'll get back with you. Thanks again. Have a good one. There's a good girl. There's a good girl. Good girl. Okay, I gotta make a video. I gotta make a video. Thank you.